My name is Ginny Belousek, and my working title currently is Diversity Manager. But I'm going to say working title because I did retire in 2019 after 37 years with the city. And when the gal who replaced me resigned unexpectedly, they asked me to come back and help out. And that was a year ago. So I've been back on a part-time temporary basis for a year. So my official title is part-time temp, but I go by the working title of Diversity Manager. Like I said, I've worked for the city of Tempe for 37 years. The first 17 in community services, library, Parks and Rec, and community services administration. And then I transferred in 2020 to the diversity office, where my boss and I created the diversity office and grew it from there. So that's pretty much my work history and where I've been. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I kind of fell into it. Got married very young, had children very young, was raised with the, I guess I am the last year of the boomers officially. And I was raised with the work ethic of you work hard and you do a good job and you be reliable and just do your best. And so, I guess what molded me was my father always telling me I could be whatever I could be. Like I said, I'll be really honest with you. I kind of fell into the position. When I got started at the city, it was because, newly married, children, and needed the job. And it was something I had the skills for. I started very young, right out of high school. Did not have my college degree. Started off in a clerical position. And basically it was to put food on the table, pay our mortgage, which worked well for me for many years. And then I went back to school as an adult learner and got my degree when my kids were a little bit older. At that point, it changed from being a necessity to I am ingrained in this community. Well, my life is very simple. And, my core values are family, my faith, my community, which basically is a lot of what I focus on in my job. I do believe that being engaged and knowing your neighbors leads to a better community. Learning about why people act the way they do or do the things they do leads to a better community. Because if you know who your neighbors are, it helps you build a better neighborhood. So I guess my core values would be inclusiveness, equity and inclusiveness for all. That's what we worked hard for since the inception of our office. Well, I'm going to take it back to what I was doing as diversity manager, because currently they have hired a new chief diversity officer. So my current goals are creating the Tempe Tardeada, the celebration of Hispanic culture. But I'm going to go back to what we created while I was still working full time. So we were one of the first diversity offices created in the state of Arizona. A lot of other diversity, this was back before diversity was the buzzword that it is now. Back in 2000, diversity was part of HR or hidden away somewhere. So my boss, Rosa Inchausti, who is now the interim city manager, she's worked her way up to interim city manager. She was the first diversity director in the city. And we created all the policies and practices that the city is currently doing as far as diversity. I'm going to say Tempe has always, I think first of all, being a university town gives us a little bit different flavor than one of the other cities. Having the professionals, having the professors, having the think tanks, having the youth, people will get their degrees and then stay and relocate and settle in Tempe. So we've got a very educated community. It also brings a lot of diversity. ASU does to the community. So I think right there we've got the university town. Tempe, we like to say, is kind of a big small town. You feel like when you live in Tempe, it is a big city, but it has a small town feel. It's the connections. It's the fact that Tempe encourages connections in the community. So, we are diverse, we are connected, and we are an educated community. We do so much networking. I mean, we've got we network. The groups I mentioned earlier to you when I said I have, worked with we work with the mosques, the Muslim. We have 2 mosques in Tempe. We network with them, the Jewish community. I network with LGBT resources. I network with all of the diversity offices from the other cities to collaborate and see what they're working on, such as a Unity Walk we coordinate together. I collaborate with the university. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on.
Okay. Is there anyone in particular that you've worked with who's been an inspiration, as like a professional inspiration, or you see them as someone in the community and you're like, wow, that they're really giving it their all?
Absolutely, without a doubt, my mentor and my very, very good friend, Rosa Inchausti, who was she was a friend before she was a close colleague, but she was the first diversity director in Tempe and moved up to the first female to break the glass ceiling and become the first deputy city manager, female deputy city manager, and has just recently been appointed as the interim city manager with our city manager, Andrew Ching, resigning. She made me a better person as far as she works hard. She's 24/7 community. She calls, doesn't matter what her title is, she will call community members back any time of the day, weekends, holidays. If there's a problem, she calls them. Her work to do to learn more about Tempe. So I would just say, become involved, show up at the city events. We have so many events. Volunteer or I should say show up, because we've got neighborhood events, we've got the game events, get out and get involved. Apply to be on the city board or commission. We are always looking for Tempe residents willing to volunteer their time to sit on an advisory board. We've got so many: library board, museum board, the Human Relations Commission, the Disability Commission. Then there's more technical ones, the design, the DRC, design review, where you have to kind of more have a architectural background or land development background.